Now, let's get more on this with Hellen Dena. She's the project lead for the Pan-Africa Plastic Project at Greenpeace Africa and joins me from Ottawa in Canada. Hellen, it's good to have you on this news hour. I'd like to start with these concerning reports about Europe. Why is that continent in particular heating up faster than others?
Thank you for having me. And like you rightly put it, there is a lot of production that has been ongoing. And because of that, then we end up having a lot of plastic pollution. And plastic has been shown to, drive climate change. And that explains why there's a lot of heating, because plastic has been shown to harm, 8.1 billion people on this fragile planet. And so if you look at, the statistics, if we continue on the same trajectory of production, then we are looking at a scenario where the extreme weather events that we are now experiencing are, going to become worse. So it is a point where we need to look at, as humanity, we need to rethink and relook at the way we are, living, but more so look at how we reduce producing the plastics, because at the end of the day, we know that over 99% of the plastics is produced from fossil fuels.
So what can European countries do now in order to tackle these soaring temperatures that aren't going to be felt in the future? They're going to be felt in the coming months, as well as look at other ways of targeting climate change.
Yeah, we need to look at different ways. So we need to see not just, talks from like world leaders and government leaders. We need to now look at how do we take concrete action. And one way of doing this is, looking at how do we find a global instrument to curb plastic pollution. And the only way that we can curb this plastic pollution is through, cutting down plastic production. And this week is an important week because, world governments will be convening here in Ottawa, discussing and looking at how we get a legally binding instrument to curb plastic production and ultimately, reduce plastic pollution. That is one way of doing it. But more than that, there are those ambitious targets that every country has set. So we need to see how do we move ahead and not just set targets, but see that we are implementing those targets in our different countries.
Hellen, and you talk about the implementation, and that seems to be the real issue here, because governments can meet, they can talk, we have COP every year, and laws are signed, things are agreed on, but it's the implementation rather that has been so difficult. Why is this such an issue?
Well, it has to do with a lot of, business interest as well. So we all know the impacts of, plastic pollution. We all know the impacts of climate change. But when it comes to the implementation, people look at their own interests. For instance, the oil-producing countries, we would rather, prioritize profits rather than the health of, the people and the environment. So they need to go beyond, these profits. They need to go beyond their own selfish interests and look at how, you look at the negative impacts of, this, be it climate change, be it plastic pollution, be it biodiversity loss. So at the end of the day, we are, as leaders, we are urging them that to look beyond what is national interest or economic interest, and just focus on what this world will be for the future generation as well, because we're not just talking about impacts that will be felt now, but also in the future. So let's not just focus on profits, but let's see how do we also live a better earth, a better, life for the future generations.
Hellen Dena, thank you so much for speaking to us. Good to get your analysis live to us there from Ottawa.